How do you describe what you're building at Fount to others? And how do you think about how it's different from, what to, I think many can seem like a crowded field of people that are focused on health and performance optimization? What's unique and different?
So there's what we're doing now and what we'll be able to deliver you into the future. So just to quickly explain to people what we do now, we run sort of the highest level performance and health optimization programs. So we do your blood work for you, track your sleep with wearables, do an intake interview with one of our coaches who are these former special operators or people who train Cirque du Soleil artists, really awesome people. And that 90 minutes we can go really deep on what your goals are, your day-to-day habits, as well as go deep on your nutrition, exercise program, your family history, and sort of where you want to go. And so what that allows us to do is take all these different data sets. Maybe you get a full body MRI as part of the program. Maybe we're tracking your blood glucose levels through continuous glucose monitor. So again, collecting all of these data sets, using that to design a program. But I think the key difference then is not just saying, okay, based on your blood and your answers, here's what you should be doing. Saying, here's the hypotheses, here's what we expect or believe is going on. Now let's run experiments with you at a very high frequency, weekly experiments to identify if that's true and then what the best solutions for you are. So we run our own custom supplement packaging facility to make life easy for clients, but there are 80 supplements or more that are available to our coaches to give to you. And there is not one of those supplements that's not bad for some of our clients. And that means that like you can't give this one size all fits approach. And the only way today to get to a truly optimized program for you is to run all these experiments. And so our goal is to make that easy, redo blood work every month, capture that wearable data every day, check in with your coach every week, give you all of the insights and solutions about how to make this easier and to shortcut you, but to really optimize for you. So that's today is getting you to, again, knowing what to eat, take, and do to look, feel, and perform like you want. And then the big future goal is while we run these incredibly optimized programs, we're also collecting the highest fidelity data set in the history of health and wellness. No one has ever collected a large data set with dozens of experiments per person across thousands of people with rich pre and post data across blood work and wearables at this high frequency way. And so we're incredibly excited to build machine learning models using that data set that can democratize the ability to high level customization. So you'll get one of our coaches, we'll deep fake them or we'll chatbot them, and they will be able to walk you through designing those experiments, use the data from your experiments to feed it back. But instead of this incredibly concierge model we have today, there'll be a SaaS version, and it'll be a little less fun. Having a former Navy SEAL as your coach is a fun thing to have, and actually is really valuable for people. But to make this available to millions of people, we're going to build the AI coaching version of this, and we already have the sort of very tip of that iceberg, which are we make discoveries working with our clients. We can now send 95% of people anywhere in the world with no jet lag. And there's an algorithm that knows how to customize when to eat, sleep, wake up, and take custom supplements we've designed. And you follow that, you give it some information, it calculates an optimal program for you, and you can sleep 8 hours your first night in Tokyo. And so we're already seeing that what we expected would happen happens from the data set. We've discovered new sleep supplements. We have a new product that can eliminate PMS physical symptoms for women in about 90% of women. And so we have this like incredible set of tools that are coming out that will launch as products. And then the long-term vision is to really wrap this all up into a comprehensive program that's scalable.
I love the way you talk about, the strategy of the business, because I think it's honestly masterful. As someone that tries to spend a lot of time studying what businesses are doing, there are very few founders that I talk to that have this kind of dual layer. We're doing this today, but that's not the end vision. We're doing that to enable this. One of the questions I had there was that an emergent property as you started getting into this, and did this emerge in say the first year or two of running the business, or was this idea very clear in your mind from day one?
I would say it took me about decades worth of work to realize this was the right strategy. Before I ran Fount, and after I left the military work, I ran a consulting business where we were doing these one-on-one programs for executives, but without the bigger data goals. But to answer this question about how do we go from 1,000 Navy SEALs to 100,000 Army grunts, or from the C-suite to the factory floor, my brain was searching for a framework for how to answer that question best. And initially, my thought was designing these one off products and then letting people put products together for themselves. And then over time, I realized there was sort of a way to do it all at once. And that conclusion, you know, coincided pretty closely with the starting of Fount and really this big, big vision we have.